Well, it's been one of those days again in the grain markets. I'm Marlin, Bohling, your tour guide to the ag commodities. Well, let's dive into the prices, starting with corn. And on the quotes provided by bar chart here, the corn trade has been trading higher, but it's coming off of the earlier highs a little bit. We have July now trading 5 1/4 cents higher. We're at 747 3/4. So we backed away from our earlier high last night and early this morning by roughly about 6 cents now. In December corn, the new crop month, 5 3/4 cents higher. Over on soybeans. Soybeans have had some give and take today. July now down a penny at 16.98 1/4. However, you have November up 1 3/4 at 15.35 1/4. The trading range on November only 12 cents wide from the high to the low. That's kind of unusual. Now, in the wheat market in Chicago, things really getting weak in the knees here. You have July now down 28.5 cents at 10.64 1/2. Well, that would be a penny and a half from our low of the day. Look at the high we had last night, 11.01. Now we're down at 10.64 1/2. Kansas City wheat, kind of a similar story. July down 28 1/4 at 11.41 3/4. That would be 2 cents from its low of the day. Spring wheat trade, you now have July trading 4.5 lower at 12.26. And, well, speaking of wheat, I want to bring in somebody who can maybe talk about that a little bit. It's Mr. Ben Hushon. He's with the mill in Whitehall, Maryland, and it's that time of year where we're kind of coming down the home stretch of wheat production. And I was thinking you had some pretty good-looking wheat around there in the past, but how are the conditions here this past week leading up to harvest?
Good morning, Marlin. I'll be honest, we've had a really nice week, a rain-free week since we talked last Tuesday. And then the weather on Friday, actually from Friday on, became what farmers have been terming amazing haymaking weather. Pretty much topped out 75 degrees every day, very low humidity, and a breeze, pretty constant. Now, that's just about to change. It's really clouding up, and I'm sure anyone listening just heard Tim Ross say he's sending us some rain. But things have been amazing the last 7 days.
So how is the wheat crop doing? How far away are you guys from harvest in that part of the country there?
Wheat harvest is a good 3 weeks away. We've started to see some change. In fact, we have a meeting this evening, a group of us that joined with, and we're going to have a lot more information on wheat for you next Tuesday. Probably the big thing this week that is happening is corn. You think about it, back in the old days, our community anyhow used to put all of our nitrogen on up front on their corn, and now we've moved to split application, and we've pretty much learned, a lot of data shows that second application of nitrogen needs to be going on about V4, V5, so basically knee-high corn. So here we were the 4th of June, and we began to see some knee-high corn. Not the 4th of July, like my dad and grandfather used to say. Pretty much now, early planted corn in our community is now knee-high, V4, V5, and ready for the rest of its nitrogen to carry it through.
All right, so otherwise, any pest problems to speak of so far this year, or everything looking pretty good?
Marlin, it's been, it makes you nervous when things are going really smooth. We had a tough start. We've had some slugs in places. Had a very cool April, pretty cool May. Probably our biggest concern may be about to change, which would be dry weather. Even the folks that have hay down are saying, I sure hope we get some rain out of this right after I get all my hay baled today.
Yeah, timing is critical, isn't it? It sounded like a typical farmer fashion there. All right, well, thank you for the update, Ben. Always a joy to visit with you, and I appreciate it. We'll check in with you next week. I understand you'll have a chance to look at some wheat fields in the meantime. So we look forward to that report. Ben Hushon is with the mill in Whitehall, Maryland. We'll come back in a moment, and I'll get you updated on our cattle and hog market activity next.